Hello. So, a lot of our triggers seem to stem from childhood. And I have a program that I was putting together. Some of you have gotten the first like four chapters of it. Y'all paid for it like last year, I think. But I'm still working on that. I'm trying to make it a 12-week program and go into more detail. I'm trying to add more to those chapters that I had already. And one of the first chapters in there is talking about childhood trauma or just how your childhood was. I asked a lot of questions dealing with your childhood and what happened when you were a child, the things that affected you when you were a child, and things you didn't even realize affected you when you were a child. And those of you who did get that first part last year actually contacted me and were like, "Hey, like, I'm crying." A lot of you had like some emotional baggage associated with your childhood, and that's what I mean. Like, that's those things that stem, and like I said, a lot of our triggers do stem from when we were children. So, yeah, so that's like an important thing to look at. Like to pay attention and focus and kind of sit there with yourself in a quiet place when you're quiet, like in a room, whatever. Sometimes all you can do is go to the bathroom and be in there because it's the only quiet room in the house. Believe me, I've been there, done that many times. So I understand. But regardless, just go somewhere quiet, even if you have to wait till everybody's asleep or and stay up late or wake up really early when everybody's still asleep. But whatever it is, you need to focus and pay attention and think, okay, so a lot of times I like to meditate on this. This is something I like to meditate on. So I did it the very first time I ever did this. I was doing it during meditation. So I would sit there and I would meditate and I would just think. And like some meditations, you have to clear your mind, go into like this place where you have complete quiet peace, like you're not really thinking or focusing on anything. And then like the one I did a guided meditation where I was taken to an old house from when I was a child, and I remembered that house, and I remembered the room, my bedroom, that I shared with my sister. And I remembered the smells. I remembered how everything looked, how the sun came in through the window, how I would put the box fan in the window. I didn't have the back then there was no air conditioning in my house. We didn't have air conditioning, heater, nothing. So like all those little details, and then it had me remember, like, picture myself as a child and sitting there on my bed, and which was a bunk bed cut in half, sawed in half, like literally by my stepfather because he didn't want to buy us new beds. But anyway, so but it like had me be like, hey, you're sitting there, you see yourself, and for me to like walk up to myself and sit beside me in my bed, like now, like just sit there on the bed beside me, and for me to tell my child self what I needed to hear at that time, or what I needed to feel at that time, or what did I need at that time from someone that I wasn't getting. And so like it did make me cry because when you're in meditation, it's like you're there. It's like you feel everything so much more immensely. And so like because you're not distracted by outer distractions. It's just you're there. And so it really, to me, in my personal opinion, and from what I've done with in my life, what I've gone through, I would really recommend for you guys to meditate and to focus on that. Like when you're going back into your childhood, when you're going back to figure out what your triggers are, like when you do start asking yourself the trigger questions and the whys and the whys and the whys and the whys, you're going to figure out that some of those triggers, no one is immune to this. You're going to have some of your triggers stem from when you were a child. So when that happens, you need to be able to go back to that place. And I'll go into more detail later. I'll probably try to do a guided meditation for you guys, so that like a black screen or something, and where you just hear my voice, and I'm going to gently guide you into that meditation. Of course, that's going to be something for members only. I'm sorry, but they have to get special things. But that for sure is going to be for that. But those of you who aren't members, just look into that. There's guided meditations everywhere that you can find that will guide you into these things. I found one. What I found was a good one, from a guru online. And so, like, just look. There's a lot of really good ones, and you might have to look through a few to find out which one you particularly feel a connection with, and the ones that you'll actually listen to and be able to calm your brain with and everything. But my recommendation from my experience and from when I was able to get past all of these things was meditation. Guided meditation is what I started out with, and then eventually I just didn't need guided anything anymore. I was able to do it on my own. So do this. It'll help you immensely. I promise. But this is something that you do need to focus on. I am going to make another video dealing with triggers. Um, but maybe not tonight. But I'm already making so many videos right now. But anyway, I love you guys. Remember, you're not alone. And I will talk to you guys again soon. Love you.